What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, not even, months after, word came out about a prison beating out there in Oneida County, New York. Shout out Oneida County. Referring to the inmate Robert Brooks that died, was viciously beat by multiple officers in a hospital room or infirmary room. New information has come out as of late about a similar beating right across the street at an opposite prison that happened after the Robert Brooks beating concerning this young man right here. This is 22-year-old Messiah Nantwi, may rest in peace. This guy is in jail for was in prison, mid-state. This is happening at mid-state now for a gun charge and pending murder charges. So he'd been convicted of the gun charge, so he was in mid-state prison for that, and he had other cases that he had to come up, 2 murder charges, supposedly, right? Now, regardless of what the guy did, he was where they sent him to start serving his justice. Ladies and gentlemen, they're saying 10 prison guards went and beat this man up really bad. You'll hear the details of this. They beat this man to death. Then, on top of that, made up fictitious lies to cover themselves up, but they were caught. Take a look at what they got so far. We'll come back and talk a little bit about this because, this story just broke, so more information will come out. Take a look. Horrific.
Now to a growing scandal involving the New York State prison system. 10 correction officers now face criminal charges, including murder in the beating death of a young man from Harlem named Messiah Nantwi. It happened at Mid-State Correctional Facility last month, and 10 other officers are accused in a separate deadly assault caught on video at nearby Marcy Prison in December. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace has been covering these cases. She joins us live with the latest. Sarah?
Well, and Gilma, the description in the indictment as to how Messiah Nantwi died was horrific. What we learned a short time ago from the special prosecutor is that there is some body camera footage, but many of the officers weren't wearing them as required or deliberately disabled them.
This afternoon in the Oneida County Courthouse in Utica, New York, 10 correction officers appeared to face a variety of criminal charges related to the beating death of 22-year-old Messiah Nantwi at Mid-State Correctional Facility on March 1st. All were handcuffed and pleaded not guilty.
The grand jury of the County of Oneida, by this indictment, accuses Mr. Levy of the felony crime of murder in the second degree.
2 officers are accused of second-degree murder as the top count, along with other charges. Their bail, $100,000 cash. In all, 5 officers are accused of manslaughter, others with gang assault and making false statements to cover up the crime. The indictment saying defendants began beating Messiah Nantwi, including multiple strikes to his body and head with their boots.
It was determined by the Onondaga County medical examiner that Mr. Nantwi died from traumatic brain injuries as a result of violent blows to his head, as well as at least 69 other serious blows about his body.
One inmate I spoke with by phone told me what he saw that day.
There were times out and open already. Guns blazing. And then they all file in the room, start beating on him, kicking him. And he's just saying, please stop. I didn't do anything. Please stop.
Some of the officers are accused of falsely claiming Nantwi had a weapon and then mopping up the blood to destroy evidence. What's so disturbing is that Nantwi's death was the second in 3 months in a New York State prison. Body-worn cameras investigators say officers did not know was rolling shows them viciously beating 43-year-old Robert Brooks at nearby Marcy Correctional Facility in early December. 10 are facing murder and manslaughter charges in Brooks's case. I spoke with his father.
These officers get some kind of twisted, distorted pleasure from beating on other human beings. That is sick. That's savage.
A similar reaction from Natwee's maternal aunt who helped raise him. I spoke with her this afternoon. Her message, throw the book at all of them. They've been getting away with this for too long. And Governor Hochul just released a statement calling the case tragic, saying that she has directed DOC's Commissioner General Marticello to begin the termination process for all of those involved in Natwee's death. Gilma.
That loved one not mincing words there. Sarah, is it possible that any of these officers could take pleas?
They have been offered pleas in the Brooks case, and we are just told that 6 other officers in Natwee's case have agreed to cooperate in return for pleading guilty to some of the charges.
Sarah Wallace covering every turn of this case for us. Thank you, Sarah.
Prison guards are meant to keep order and prisoners safe, but 10 guards from upstate New York stand accused of beating an inmate to death and then trying to cover it up. This happened at the same time prison guards were on strike. Allie Bauman has the charges they now face.
One after another, 10 New York prison guards were arraigned Wednesday in connection with the death of an inmate from Harlem.
That indictment charges you with murder in the second degree, manslaughter in the first degree, gang assault in the first degree.
22-year-old Messiah Nantwee was being held in Mid-State Correctional Facility upstate on a weapons charge and awaiting trial on 2 murder charges when prosecutors allege he was beaten to death in March.
The court will set the bail in the amount of $100,000 cash.
6 of the prison guards are accused of assaulting Nantwee, kicking him and stomping on his head for no legitimate law enforcement purpose, according to the indictment, even after Nantwee had his hands raised and displayed no weapon. The remaining 4 guards are accused of helping in the cover-up.
All of the co-conspirators met and agreed to continue with the story that everything they did was completely proper.
The indictment alleges after his death, the suspects falsely claimed a makeshift knife had been found in Messiah Nantwee's room.
A body-worn camera intentionally hung in a men's room at the infirmary of Mid-State caught 2 of the co-conspirators discussing the conspiracy to plant the weapon.
Nantwee died 1 month after 6 other corrections officers were charged with the murder of inmate Robert Brooks in a correctional facility across the street from Mid-State and in the midst of a prison guard strike at facilities across the state over safety and staffing concerns. Advocates had claimed prison conditions deteriorated during the strike, and Governor Hochul brought in National Guard troops to maintain conditions. The accused are corrections officers, but the indictment alleges the National Guard troops had little training in how to deal with inmates. In a statement Wednesday, the governor said she's directed the Corrections Department to terminate all those involved, saying we have already begun to implement multiple new policies, including expanding the use of body-worn cameras and bringing in experts for a system-wide culture study. The 10 suspects have pleaded not guilty. Allie Bauman, CBS News, New York.
Guys, there you've seen it. Disgusting behavior. And this is one of the reasons why I talk to the young people and I tell them, listen, if it's violent out here and it's getting way more violent, in the world, how you think it is in the prison system. The way you avoid this type of shit is not put yourself in that position to go to these places, because once you get in there, ain't nobody gonna help you. This is your proof. So the guy was in the room. So they ran up in there for some odd reason. I don't know if it was an incident, a verbal spat or whatever. Ran up in there, put hands and feet on him. Died of traumatic brain injury. Basically kicked his brains loose. You know what I'm saying? Now he's dead. Had a makeshift fake shank. Oh, he had a weapon. We had to do it. Then when they got done, they went and mopped up the blood and convened amongst themselves. Hey, this is what happened, this and that, till people came forward and told on them. And they was busted with a microphone in the men's room talking about it. A hidden mic. I want you to pay attention. This happened months after the Robert Brooks beating. So they know about it, because word travel fast in prisons. You know what I'm saying? And prisoners watch the news, so they already knew about the Robert Brooks thing. And they're, inmates in there watching the news as well when they're on the block, looking at the TV and monitoring the inmates. So these people knew about that. And you know what? They still carried out that plan that mimicked or mirrored those that got in trouble before them. Once you think about it, the people that beat Robert Brooks, and that was a hard video to watch, It made me mad, you know what I'm saying? And they gave them deals. Justice system stupid. Gave them deals. These people right here, they gave 6 of them deals already out of the 10. Cooperate with us and we give them deals. You know why they do that deal shit? This is why we get rid of that. They got so many people locked up that they can't, they don't, if they put them in trial form, like, you know, jury selection and do this stuff, it would last years. The waiting time for all these murders would outlive the wait time, the sentence they would originally get. So they come up with this deal shit because they got more people that they can convict. I'm gonna tell you something right now. These people were entrusted in keeping law and order in there, but they committed nothing but destruction and chaos. Why are they alive? He's not. Now, regardless of where he was at, I mean, regardless of what he did, he was where he was at because of said punishment. And for them to go in there and beat his ass and do all this other shit, 10 men, nah, fuck that. I was locked up. I was incarcerated for some years. I've seen all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is nothing new to me. And a lot of you guys have been in prison, especially up in New York. Guards beat motherfuckers' asses all the time. I'm gonna tell you something. Most of these prisons in these areas are far away from urban areas. So they up there where people are just trying to get jobs, and they take these jobs, and a lot of them are buddies. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these places out here ain't used to a lot of urban type criminals coming out there, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? They act the way they act. But I mean, as far as the prison system, it's normal for people that are not incarcerated, but work in incarcerated conditions, to adopt the mindset of those that are oppressed. And this type of stuff happens and will continue to happen because it's just how it is when you work at these places. Under no circumstances should this guy had died. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go in there to subdue him. They went in there to fuck him up because they didn't like him. I don't know if it was his mouth or what, but they went in there and fucked him up. Said he was pleading, begging for his life. They didn't want to hear that shit. After they got to that point where they go in there and fuck you up, they're going to go in there and fuck you up. Now, Robert Brooks died at Marcy Correctional Institution. They said this mid-state is right across the street from it. So you know that they already knew what happened over there, and it might have spurned the idea in their head, hey, you want to end up like Robert Brooks? And all of a sudden, boop, beat down. I'm going to tell you something. A jail cell is all steel and concrete. To get fucked up by 10 people and you trying to avoid blows, hands and feet of 10 people, you know your head going to slam up against all type of shit in there trying to get away. Just to escape of the onslaught of blows can kill you. They said this guy had massive brain injuries. So that means they wasn't giving a damn. Kicking in his head and all this stuff. We seen that with the Tyree Nichols case. How violent that can be. I take all these people, they talking about, oh, we fighting to fire them. They should have been fired already. I'd eviscerate them all right now. You know better. I'd eviscerate all these motherfuckers. We ain't gonna deal with this. We ain't gonna have you in the news. We ain't gonna do none of that shit. That's just my opinion, man. We'll hold out to see if any more information come out, but I mean, this is as sad as it gets. And under no circumstances am I defending, you know, what this guy did in the street. Because, I mean, I don't know like that. But then again, you know, he's where he's at, and guards that are supposed to keep law and order didn't. So that's just as bad as him being put there, in my opinion, because he can't even pay his debt to society or whatever the hell they call it. But anyway, Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It just broke. More information to come out. You know what I'm saying? Did you hear Robert Brooks' dad? Said these cops be getting in there and they be acting just as insane as the inmates. They out of control. You know what I'm saying? It's just a reality. Just how the normal nature of human beings is. A lot of times, weak-minded men, folk, if they can assume power over you, they will push it all the way to the letter, even if it means killing you. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.